I'm absolutely thrilled that we've launched this report called Making Home with One Manchester Housing Association. For me, what makes it special is the fact that we spent a lot of time talking to young people from a wide variety of different backgrounds in Manchester, and this report really is the voice of those young people.
So we talked a lot about the strength of the report in representing the voices of young people and really bringing that to the fore in a way that I don't think has been done before, which was fantastic. And some of the insights that came out about that, which were thinking about home as a lot more than just an accommodation place and a lot more than just what you're paying in rent, but the impact that has on your whole life.
What comes out of the research is there's a massive variety of what people's needs are and what stage of life they're in, and we need to respond to that in different ways. I think what's come out of the launch today is a whole range of interests in making this work, from a political angle, from the private rented sector, from some public policy point of view, how we can work that into devolution in Manchester strategy and Greater Manchester strategy. Big debate about what affordable means, how does that work, and the critical thing is, how do you inform young people of what their housing choices are? What is the housing market? How do they get mortgages? How do they get onto lists? What are lists?
My response to the report was there's some really positive things in there that we would agree with, like the need to reform local housing allowance and universal credit, the importance of developing the model of community letting agencies and private sector social landlords, and also the importance of education, helping young people understand what their housing options are and how housing works.
One of the things that we were looking at is education, and how important education will be for young people to make a transition from wanting to be independent, moving into independent living, but having that support element put in place first so they can get the education and the training they need. And not just about living independently, but also with careers.
Importantly, the housing options for young people aren't keeping up with their modern lives, so that's things like gig economy work or flexible hours, 0 hours contracts. Finding a home when you're working in this kind of work is really difficult because landlords or social housing don't accept these as relevant forms of employment. And that's got a lot of knock-on effects, and in particular it affects their economic and their personal security, and that's how they feel about their sense of place and also how they're able to interact with their wider lives, their social networks. So I really welcome the findings from this research and thank One Manchester for their support, because I think we've got a really clear understanding now of what young people need and how we can take that forward.